to your microphones. All right, good morning, class. Sixth period. Fun, 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 fun. Just like Rebecca Black says, it's Friday, Friday, fun, fun, fun. And which seat should I take? All right. So I hope you guys are ready for fun. You know, today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean theorem, converse. So we talked about the Pythagorean theorem on Wednesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about it a little bit more. So are you guys ready? Are you guys excited? Sure. You say sure, Christopher? No, you mean of course. Yes. Kristen, you're nervous? Yes, very much. Yeah, I like that. That's the spirit. Looks simple. I mean, yeah, you guys got this. You guys got this. This is a piece of cake. We've done this before. Okay, so I have news for you guys. I need to share something. Today is my last day. So I know we had a lot of fun this semester, but today's my last day for student teaching. So I'm not going to get to see you guys anymore. In fact, wasn't someone supposed to be here in person?
One person, yes.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna miss me? Faith, you're sad. Let's see who else is sad. Nicole, yeah. Oh. Well, I'm gonna miss you guys too. Even though a lot of you I never met you in person, but yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys, and it's been a lot of fun. All right. So how's about this? How many people are here? Let's see. I'm 3. Miss Mathai, you're 1. So that's 4. So there's 23 people. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? So let's go ahead and get started and talking about the Pythagorean theorem, converse, okay? So as you guys can see, and this time I made sure to share the screen before I start the lecture, because the other day I went, 5 minutes, and then Mr. Maya, are you going to share your screen? And I was like, great. So I have to start all over. All right. But you guys wouldn't do that to me, would you? You'd tell me right away. All right. So let's talk about the Pythagorean theorem, converse. So you guys remember what this is about? Do you guys remember how the Pythagorean theorem goes? So remember how you say a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Well, we're going to do something very similar. It's just that we're going to change things up a little bit, okay? Let's see. What color should I use? Let's go with navy blue and pink. Okay. See, those colors match. If you guys are wearing a pink shirt and you wear a navy blue tie, that looks really nice. So I'm going to use pink and navy blue. All right. So let's see. Given a triangle with sides A, B, and C, you could have 3 different situations. You could have it when you have this, okay? You could have, oh, that C looks a little ugly. Let's try it again. You could have C squared be equal to A squared plus B squared. You could have a situation where C squared is greater than A squared plus B squared. And you could have a situation where C squared is less than A squared plus B squared, okay? So let's talk about this. Those are your 3 situations. So what happens when A squared is equal to when C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared? What kind of triangle do you have right there? Actually, let's use navy blue for this. So can someone tell me, what kind of triangle do you have? And if you guys get this wrong, I'm going to cry. Do not make me cry on my last day more than what I already am crying. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared. What kind of triangle do you have?
We got a couple right answers.
Oh, so let's see. Michael and Aisa, you wrote right. So that is correct. Yes, you have a right triangle. That's when you use the Pythagorean theorem. You use it on right triangles when A squared equals, when A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. Okay? Yeah, no crying on the last day. Yeah, that's right, Kristen. I mean, no crying more than what I already am, right? Right? All right. Then, but what about our second situation? What happens when c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared? What do you have then? Hmm? What kind of triangle do you have then? So in that second bullet, if a squared, excuse me, if c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared, Michael writes obtuse. Aisa wrote acute. Kristen, you wrote up. Do you mean acute or obtuse? Because kind of wrote it at the same time. Michael, but you obtuse. Michael, you're asking. You put a question mark, and Kristen confirmed it. And Christopher says he thinks obtuse. I like obtuse. Yes, it is obtuse without a question mark. Obtuse. Yes. So you had it right, Michael, but you just questioned yourself, and you got to be confident. Okay. And then, if c squared is less than a squared plus b squared, what kind of triangle do you have? Okay. Let's see. She said, I guess because of the greater than sign, but I'm glad I understand it now. Acute. Yes, the last one. If c squared is less than a squared plus b squared, here your triangle is acute. Right here you have an acute triangle, okay? It also helps to picture it. You know, so if c squared, if that means the hypotenuse is going to be a lot longer. That means you have to widen that angle, like, well, in quotes, the hypotenuse, that angle would have to get wider. So that side would have to get longer. Therefore, in quotes, that 90-degree angle has to become wider than 90 degrees. So it becomes an obtuse triangle. Okay, now let's look at this. Examples. Look what it says right here. It says, always keep c squared on the left to avoid confusion when classifying. You don't have to keep it on the left, but it's recommended. Okay? So what you're going to do is look at number one. I gave you 3 side lengths. You have 3, 7, and 9. Okay? So determining the 3 side lengths could form a triangle. That's the first part you got to do. And you guys remember how to do that. Remember? You remember. How do you determine whether or not, if I give you 3 side lengths, if they can form a triangle, how do you determine? Well, you take the 2 shorter lengths and you add them. And that has to be greater than that third length. Okay? If that's the case, then you have a triangle. If not, it must be greater than. If it's not greater than, you do not have a triangle. Okay? So first determine, can this be a triangle? And then if it is, you classify it. Okay? What type of triangle? Is it acute? Is it obtuse? Is it a right triangle? So let's go. Let's start with the first one. Oh, let's see. Aisa, you wrote the shortest, the largest one is C, and the shortest ones are A and B. Correct. Yes. So what do? We do this. You got 3, 7, and 9. Well, let's determine, is this a triangle? Well, you're going to add them. So 9. And then over here, you're going to write 3 plus 7. Right here in the middle, right here where I left that empty space, that's where you're going to write either equal to, greater than, or less than. Okay? Here we go. So let's just bring this down. 9. And what's 3 plus 7? When we simplify that, that's 10. So 3 plus 7 is 10. So 3 plus 7 is, so 9 is less than 3 plus 7. 9 is less than 10. Or you could have also put it as 10 is greater than 9, whatever. So can this be a triangle? Is this a triangle? So right now, it's just a yes or no. Is this a triangle? Yes. Good job, Alana. It is a triangle. Look. Yeah. So we go yes with an exclamation point because we're confident. And now let's classify it. Well, let's do this. We're going to put 9 squared. And then right here we're going to put 3 squared plus 7 squared. And right here in this empty space right here in that blank, that's where we're going to put the plus, excuse me, that's where we're going to put greater than, less than 2, or equal. Greater than, equal to, or less than. So what's 9 squared? 9 squared is 81. So that 8 looks ugly. By the way, I'm happy too because my pen works today. Aisa, you did this first? Okay, always do this. First, you got to do what I wrote in navy blue. Because if it turns out that it's not a triangle, then all this would be extra work for nothing. So it could avoid you a lot of extra steps. Okay. So 9 squared is 81. What's 3 squared? So 3 times 3 is 9. What's 7 squared? 49. So 81. And then right here we got what's 9 plus 49? 58. So is 81 greater than, less than, or equal to 58? 81 is greater than 58. So in this situation, c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared. So what kind of triangle do we have here? Obtuse. Good job. All right. So for the other periods, I didn't really model many for them. Okay. Plot twist. Yep. We're getting ready for the plot twist. Actually, I have good news. There is no plot twist. I think this is the part where someone calls me a liar, right? So it's like, no, Mr. Mai's lying. There's always a plot twist. You hope I'm not lying? Well, try the second problem on your own. There's always a catch. Let's see. Try the second problem on your own, okay? And I want someone to like all of you try it out on your own, but then someone volunteer and then walk me through. And here's something that I'm really happy about. Yesterday, I didn't have to use the random selector because students volunteered. So let's hope that we can continue this, that you guys will also volunteer. You don't have to get randomly chosen. Hope you like, me, I want to do this, right? So try it out on your own. I'll give you a minute here, and then someone will volunteer. All right. I think that's enough time. So who would like to do the second problem? Who would like to walk me through what they did? Don't make me use the random selector. We're like on a roll without having to use it. Don't make us have to use it again. All right, Raquel. Talk into your microphone, please, so that I can, because I got the Chromebook right behind me, and as I'm writing on the board. All right. So how did you do this?
Okay, first I checked to see if it was a triangle, so I did um 29 less than 21 plus 20.
Say that part again.
I did I said first I checked to see if it was a triangle. So I did 29 less than 20 plus 20, 21 plus 20,
21. Okay. Yeah.
which
So
was
what's
41.
21 is less than? I mean, excuse me, 29. All right, let me write that again. It looks ugly. Uh, 29 is less than 41. Okay. So this is a triangle. All right.
Then I did 29 squared, which was 841. And then I did 21 squared plus 20 squared.
What's 21 squared?
21 squared is 441. And then 20 squared is 400.
You said 441?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I
So
added 441 to 400, and it's 841, so they're equal to each other. So it's a right triangle.
you guys get this so far? I'll put a yes right here because it is a triangle. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, do you guys get this so far? Anyone struggling? Anyone not understanding it, or anyone a little nervous, scared? Okay. So now let's try number 3. I want you guys all to try number 3 on your own. I'll give you a hint. Number 3 is easy. Aisa, you say it. Yep, it is. All right. Let's. I'll give you guys like a few more seconds here, and then we'll see who's gonna do number 3. All right. And this assignment's good because again, it brings back your prior knowledge. It makes you guys remember. And as I said several times throughout this course, you're not allowed to forget anything you've learned up to today. Anything at all. And again, yeah, this is like when we talked about those inequalities and finding the triangle lengths. All right, who's got number 3? In fact, you said it's easy, so yeah, I mean you agreed with me that it's easy. So what did you do for this one? Is that a one?
I just put let's see. I put 16 is 16 is greater than 11 plus 4.
Okay.
And so 11 plus 4 equals 15. So, and since the shorter sides are not greater than the largest number, then that means that it's not a triangle.
So you say it's not a triangle. All right, you guys ready for the catch? There is no catch. That's correct. Yeah, it's not a triangle. That one was easy, right? So you see how a little bit ago you said that you were doing the c squared and then a squared plus b squared. So you see, this is why you want to do that part first, because otherwise you'd have had to do all those steps, and it's like, nope, I don't need to. What's the point of classifying it if it's not even a triangle? Okay. All right. Let's see. What other ones? Well, these are all very similar, so I know. Let's just do some more warm up. Let's do some more. Who wants to do number 17? Excuse me, number 4. So all of you guys do number 4 again, and then someone model it for the rest of us. Oh man, I should have let you choose, but Miss Aragon, you get to choose. You get to choose who's going to do number 4 for the class. All right, Johnny, you're going to do number 4 for us. Aragon chose you. And she laughed also, so. She's like, Johnny. But she said, Johnny, lol. Zoe, glad you could join us. You're supposed to be here in person, Zoe. It's all good. You're in Arizona. Ah, fun. I won't be here next week. See, today's my last day. All right, Johnny, do you have number 4 done?
So you see, the thing is, it's kind of, I'm still trying to get it. So, because kind of confused a little bit.
All right. So you're gonna get it by doing it. All right.
Right.
So what's the first step? Remember, what's the first thing we do? Determine whether or not it's a triangle at all. If it's even
Right.
So how do we determine if it's a triangle? We have three lengths, 17, 17, and 22.
Isn't it the longer? You get the longer one, right?
So
The
let's
longer
get
length?
so we got this one that's 22. So the longest side is 22. Okay. And then what do we do with it? What about the shorter sides? 17 and 17.
You add those two up, right? And that equals. You put them up to 22.
Oops. We do 17 plus 17. Okay. So what's 17 plus 17?
Hold on. $34.
34. Yeah. So now you got to determine what's larger. The longest side or the sum of the shortest sides?
That'd be the sum of the shortest sides.
Right. 34 is larger than 22. So now, is this a triangle or is it not a triangle?
Well, yeah, it would be a triangle, right? Because the sum is larger than 22.
Yeah. So the sum of of the shortest side has to be longer than the longest side. Okay. So this is a triangle. So you would put yes. Okay. Let me rewrite this. Yes, so it is a triangle. Now what? How do we classify the type of triangle that it is?
Now you have to like square them off, right? Like do the same thing with square them off.
Yeah, so remember, you gotta put it in the format. I'm gonna write it over here. C squared and then A squared plus B squared. And then right here in the middle, you're gonna put a sign. Right here in the middle, you're gonna put a sign, and it's gonna be equal, greater than, or less than. You're gonna put one of those three signs, and those will help you determine whether it's an acute triangle, an obtuse triangle, or a right triangle. Okay. So what's our C?
C is
Yeah.
22, right?
Yeah. But remember, we're not just putting C, we're putting C squared. Okay.
Right, C squared. So that would be 22 squared. My bad.
Right. And what are our A's and our B's? What's our A? CJ?
17 and 17 squared.
So 17 squared and then plus
17 squared.
17 squared, yeah. So now what's 22 squared?
Isn't that like 22 times 22?
Correct. Let's see. How do we know if it's a triangle or not? Kristen. So the first thing you do, look at the stuff I wrote in pink right here. For number 4, look at what I wrote in pink. You have to get the largest side, and then you have to compare it to the sum of the shortest side. So the longest side is 22, as we see here, and the shortest sides are 17 and 17. So you add up the shortest sides, and they give you 34. And then you compare that to the longest side. If the sum of the shortest sides is greater than the longest side, then you do have a triangle. If the sum of the two shortest sides is not greater than the longest side, then you cannot have a triangle. Okay. Yeah, it's great, like Christopher said. If C is less than A and B together, then it's a triangle. Okay. So what's 22 squared? So let's go back to
It's
classifying.
it's 484.
484.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, what's 17 squared?
That would be 289.
And then 17 squared again, that's 289. So right here we got 484. And then right here we got 289, 289. Because you're going to have at least your answer's going to be at least 500. So what is this? 289 plus 289?
It's 500. It's 578.
Sometimes this pen likes to mess with me. It doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So therefore, in this situation, C squared is less than A squared plus B squared. And real quick, Kristen, do not confuse. Let me write this in red over here somewhere. So, because I know this might create some confusion for some of you guys. Let's use red. There's a difference between saying C and then like A plus B, and then when you say C squared A squared plus B squared. Okay. So right here, remember when you're not squaring them, that's just to determine if it's a triangle. Okay. So right here you would say no, not a triangle. However, when you square them, you can have this. You can have what you have on the right or what you have on the left be less than what's on the right. Okay. So don't be like, wait a minute, but I thought you said that if it's less than, then it's not a triangle. No, that's before you square them. So again, just like this, it's a no when you haven't squared them, and that's to determine if it's a triangle. When you do square them, that's to classify the triangle. Okay. So know the difference between these two situations right here. Okay. Know the difference between that and that. Okay. All right. So Johnny, what kind of triangle do we have on number 4? So we've determined that C squared is less than A squared plus B squared. What kind of triangle do we call that? Good job. Oh, that was my cow. He bailed you out. But yes, it's an acute triangle. Oops. All right. Let's try 2 more examples, and then you guys can, I'll let you guys go. I mean, to continue on with your work. Who wants to do number 5? You got 18, 24, and 30. All right, Nicole's going to do number 5. Number 5? Yeah, you can do number 5, Nicole. Wait, when you say the next, do you mean 5 or do you mean 6? 5, okay. So all of you guys try numbers 5 and number 6. I can try both of them. Try 5 and 6. And then in a second, Nicole will model number 5 for us, and then someone else will model number 6. In fact, Nicole, you'll get to choose who does number 6 if no one volunteers. You know how that's a lot of fun when you guys get to pick on someone.
I'm already done with 5. Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I first determined if it was a triangle or not, and it was, because I did 30 and then 18 plus 24. And then 18 plus 4 equal to 42. So 30 is less than 42, which makes it a triangle. So yes.
So yes, it's a triangle. Okay, let's write yes right here in pink. All right. Now what?
And then after I did 30 squared and then 18 squared plus 24 squared.
30 squared, 18 squared, plus
24 squared.
Okay.
And then
So 30
30 squared equal to 900.
Okay.
And then 18 squared equal to 324. And then that would be plus 576.
Okay.
And then 324 plus 576 equal to 900. So 900 equals 900, which makes it a right triangle.
Good job. I forgot to give you the rest of you guys that are also solve problems. I forgot to give you guys a round of applause. So a round of applause for you live for the applause, right? Right? Yeah. Or high five anyone? Right? Yeah. There you go. Okay. Now. Yeah, you love it. Good job, Johnny. All right. And number 6. Who would like to do number 6? Or shall Nicole pick on someone? Nicole, you get to choose.
I think you should pick. Oh, okay.
Okay. Michael, here's the thing, Michael, you already solved one. But if you want, I'll let you choose someone. I'll let you choose a student. You cannot choose yourself, however. Christopher. You got to do number 6.
Okay.
All right. So tell me, what do you got for this, or how are you gonna?
So I started with 23 blank 8 plus 15.
Okay.
Then I added 8 plus 15 to get 23.
Okay.
So 23 equals 23. And that makes it not a triangle.
Are you sure it's not a triangle?
Yes.
I always ask that so I can see, like, now I'm not sure. But I couldn't break you. Good job. Correct, it's not a triangle. And that's something a lot of students forget. Yes, correct, it's not a triangle. A lot of students say, oh, wait a minute, but it's equal to. But they forget the rule says that the rule says, let me scroll up again. The rule set right there, look at what I wrote over here to the very left. Oh, and by the way, hold on a second. I wrote no over here. This should say yes. Okay. The rule says A plus B must be greater than C, not equal. Notice how this doesn't say, notice how it doesn't say it like that. There's no, it's not or equal to. The sum of A and B, or the sum of the shortest sides, must be greater than the length of the longest side. Okay. Yeah, so real quick, a little bit ago, I wrote the word no right here. That was supposed to be a yes. I don't even know why I wrote no. Because I was testing you. There you go. That's what I was doing. None of you guys caught it. Okay. So A plus B must be greater than C. Not greater than or equal to. Like so like with number 6, sometimes students say, oh, but Mr. Maya, it's equal to. What do I do then? So is the sum of the shortest sides greater than? No. Like it's equal to. Therefore, no. That's not good enough. So not a triangle. Right here, we put a big no. Like that. There you go. No. All right. You guys can do number 7 and 8 on your own. I don't think I need to model these for you guys. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, can I give you a visual representation of why it would not be a triangle? Okay. Let me erase this no so I can have some room. Oops. Okay. So let's see, what are our lengths? What color am I? I'm navy blue. Okay. So let's say that you got, oops. So let's say that you got this. Let's say that you got a side length. Let me get my eraser and make this. Let's pretend that those are equal, okay? And then we got this pink. Let me. Okay. And then we got that, okay? Let's pretend that let's pretend the navy blue lines are the short sides and the pink one is the long side. So if we add up those two navy blue lines, they are not greater than the, what's it called, than the pink line. If you add them together. Try to get, and now let me get a different color. Let's get green. Try to find a way, any way that you can align this line and this line and form a close triangle with that pink line. You can't. Because, let me use navy blue again. So the length of this blue, of one of those navy blue lines is something like that. That's pretty much the length. Okay? Let me draw it again. Okay? The other navy blue line has to be at an angle because otherwise it can't close. It doesn't matter how much you tilt either of these navy blue lines, they cannot touch, they cannot close. A triangle has to close. So it doesn't matter how you move the lines, you will never get them to touch. You will never get them to join. So that's how it works, okay? If you were to tilt, let's say if you were to get this blue line and you were to, let's say that you would make this a more narrow angle, it's like, okay, let's do this instead. All right, well, let's do this right here. They still don't touch. They're not long enough. So these blue lines would have to be a little longer. So then, like you have to make them long enough so they can touch, okay? But so that's why the short sides have to be, when you add them up, they have to be longer. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap. Then you cannot have this. Is that a triangle? That's not a triangle, okay? It's close to being one, but look at that gap right there. Look at that pink gap. And there's a gap, and a triangle has to be closed. It's a polygon. It has to be closed. Okay. So you guys have a homework assignment. Yeah, no problem. You guys have a homework assignment on big ideas. Or if you guys need help with anything, let me know. You finished the homework? All right, that's the spirit. So you're having such a blast that you're like, I'm going to do this right now, right? Don't worry, we didn't hear anything. You didn't say, there was no sound going on, but better to be safe than sorry. No, you just don't want to do homework over the weekend? Why would you punish yourself? Why would you not want homework over the weekend? Why would you deprive yourself of fun geometry over the weekend, Christopher? Okay. There's more to lack for homework? No problem. You're gonna be measuring you're gonna be like measuring the angles in your house, right? Like the beds on, like the angles on your bed, the angles on the floor, and the walls, right? There you go. That's fun stuff. We have two completely different ideas of fun. I love your sarcasm. Right. Well, maybe because I'm a Raiders fan, you're hurting my feelings. It's like my last day. Instead of giving me a nice goodbye, like you're making fun of me. You're dissing my team. That's right, Johnny. You get an F. You failed the class for making fun of the Raiders. Right. Those of you guys that are still not done with the homework, work on it and let me know if you need help. Johnny, you're all worth it. Haha. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. All right, so I don't think there's going to be anything new. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Yes, we were talking about C's candy at the beginning of the period. C's candies, yep. We were talking about the geometry of C's candies, like, we were measuring the angles on the candy bars and the side lengths. You're missing out, man. You're missing out. C's candy is life. The chocolates are so good. I like the candy bars more than like the little pieces of candy, the little chocolates. Like,
You like the candy bars?
I like the candy bars. They're all good. Okay, here's the thing. It's just that the chocolate
I
pieces.
know, Christopher. He likes the caramel lollipops too.
You like it?
They're actually, I think they're called butterscotch, aren't they? Now I think about it. But yeah, those are delicious.
What I don't like is that sometimes it's a hit or miss. That's the thing. With the chocolate bars, you have a little more security. You know what you're getting. It's like, oh, milk chocolate or almond milk chocolate. But with those are like, oh, this one has, oh, they have all fancy names. Like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's chocolate and it's filled with cherry. Okay, it's like, oh, this one is, get some fancy name, and what is it? Oh, it's chocolate filled with with taffy and toothpaste, whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, I don't like taffy. It's like, oh, so it's a big risk.
What I started doing is I actually, when they were with COVID and being out, when I was ordering it, I created my own box. So if you go online, you can see a picture of all of them with the name, like you can open it up, like you click on it and then it opens like cut in half, like so you can see inside, go, oh, I know that one. So I just ordered exactly what I wanted. Like, I want a third of the box to be this, or I want a fourth of the box to be this. So it's pretty good. Johnny's shocked you don't like taffy.
No, the joke was like, oh, this one's chocolate filled with taffy and toothpaste. And I was like, oh, I don't like taffy. The joke's that I don't mind the toothpaste flavor.
Do you like taffy, Johnny? What's the best flavor? I know, it is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
There's so many.